And we will move on to our second speaker today, and that is Peter Durnill, the Operations Director at E.O. Johnson. And I'm going to stop my share and go to, speaker view here so that we can see Peter.
Morning, everyone. Thanks for having me. Again, my name is Peter Durnill. I'm the Operations Director at E.O. Johnson, and more specifically, I'm the Operations Director for LockNet Managed IT Services, which is the IT arm of E.O. Johnson. So what we do at LockNet is we provide managed service support and managed service security for financial institutions, regulated business, small businesses, and really across the board. So what does that mean? I'll unpack that a little bit. So clients that may or may not have their own internal IT come to us to look for support and assistance with managing their patching for their desktops and their servers and troubleshooting any problems that they may encounter, helping them with strategic initiatives for their businesses. How are they going to grow? How do we help them from an IT perspective become more efficient at what they do? We also protect their environments from any malicious actors, hackers and script kiddies and people who feel the need to do criminal activity against their environment. It is very lucrative business, like unfortunately a lot of criminal activity is, but it's not the right way to go about things. So our job is to be the defensive arm for their organization as well. A little bit about me. I got into IT in 2003 when I joined the military. And it was for sure not a straight line from high school or into college or into IT by any stretch. So I had a wide variety of positions before I went into that. And I really identified in the military that I enjoyed working through those things. IT is a combination of puzzles. If you enjoy working on puzzles and figuring out what problems there are and how to solve them, IT is probably going to be a good fit for you. So once I got out of the military, I got my 2-year degree from a small college in Iowa called Hawkeye Community College. And then I started with a small managed service provider in Iowa, who was then acquired by LockNet. So, and since then, I started out as a support center level 1. So I took phone calls. I went on site for clients to work on replacing machines and doing server health checklists and troubleshooting problems on site for clients. From there, I moved into an escalated position where I took the more challenging and difficult problems. And then from there, I became the support center manager. And I've grown that team from 8 people to now we're up to 36. And then just recently, I was promoted to operations director. So now I oversee 80 IT professionals, and my whole function with LockNet is to ensure proper customer service delivery. So making sure that clients get onboarded appropriately with all of our services, make sure we're delivering the services that they're paying for, and make sure they have a great customer experience. So it's super busy, average day to day. If you're in the support center, it could be taking phone calls, working on trouble tickets via email. And those problems could range from something like a password reset to something as wild and crazy as what happened last week, where you have a massive vulnerability running across the world from I'll say accused Chinese organization, and working through doing forensic analysis on environments that may or may not have been compromised from a situation like that. And it can go from stress-free every single day to high stress, high workload. So it's really a lot of fun. Our days go by really, really fast. So you come in at 8 o'clock and before you know it, you're going home for the evening. So it's a really great time. Like I said, puzzles are phenomenal in IT, and they're very challenging, and I really enjoy it. Advice into getting into IT, like I said, I didn't have a straight line into getting into IT. I moved around a bit. I tried a bunch of different things. I've found that a lot of people who really enjoy it are also big gamers. They love playing in IT outside of work. They love breaking down computers, and they're just in it all day, every day. It's something that they truly enjoy. And those who truly enjoy it really find a lot of passion, and they dig into things. What I would advise for that is IT is huge. Brian is a developer. I am a troubleshooter. Lucas does some of the same things, but there's a huge variety in that. So you can program and code applications, you can troubleshoot applications, you can replace hardware and break it down and put it all back together. Inside of that, there's firewalls and servers and workstations, and all of those things require a high degree of skill to be able to support and manage. Or you could be the Swiss Army knife in IT and know a lot about firewalls and routers and networking, and know a lot about servers and desktops and workstations and things like that. So really, if you're looking into getting into IT, if you are involved in one specific area and that's not really something that suits you, just move on to the next one and keep learning and keep studying. So it's always changing, so it's never the same every day.
Great. Can you tell me a little bit about maybe some specific things that you did in the military that kind of pointed you in the direction of IT?
Sure. So when I initially enlisted, they gave me an option of being a medic or being in IT, and being a medic was just not something that was interesting to me. So yeah, what we did is we dealt with anything that could provide communication, whether it be a radio, a computer, a satellite dish, whatever the case may be, was what we had to work on, and that really helped me find my niche about what I really enjoyed. Just trying to figure things out when somebody else couldn't figure it out. I really enjoyed digging into it, and I would go 15, 20 hours straight just trying to figure out what the problem was, because that communication, especially in the military, is critical. And even in IT, just to emphasize what Brian said, IT, you have many ways of communication. It's not just verbal conversation. It's a lot of written communication. It's a lot of chat and IMs. And it's critical that when you're communicating with clients that you're very clear, because IT can get very specific, and it can fly over the top of people's heads very fast.
Awesome. You used a term that I wasn't familiar with. So you talked about hackers, but then you said script kiddies. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yep. So it's a term for, I would say, probably less skilled hackers. Usually they get started in that, and what they do is they can go out on the internet and find a script that somebody else wrote and just run it to their advantage. So you can build programs that run these things for you automatically. So in any way, anytime a hacker or somebody like that tries to gain access to your environment, the first piece to that is to find the weakness. Where is the weak spot in the network? And you can run, pre-built scripts that find those for you, and then you can target your attack that way.
Got it. All right, great. Thanks for defining that for someone who knows nothing about IT. So Meg, do you have any questions?
Yes, I do. I think there's a lot of similarities there, and I'm glad you asked the military question because it is very military related. There's some foreign person trying to invade your space. So really in IIT, you're trying to prevent that as well. So I feel like there could be some good marrying of tactics there to try and quote unquote defeat the enemy. What I was interested in is that in your particular sector of IT, what do you find most rewarding about your job?
I think the biggest thing is our owner, Mary Jo, she always talks about how many mouths we feed, right? So let's say every employee that we hire, on average, there's 4 mouths to feed. And we apply that same logic to our customers as well. So if their environments are more efficient, if their work can be done and can be continued, we can help grow their business, we can provide for even more families, right? So every business that we support and are able to make them a more profitable business can lead to hopefully more pay for their employees, more employees in general, and that continued growth. So I think I really take it that direction, and that gives me a lot of satisfaction. But like I said, the puzzle piece for me, I've got Rubik's cubes laying all over at my house because I'm normally working from home these days. That's what I really get a lot of enjoyment out of. and solving that puzzle and fixing that problem that nobody else could fix. I take a lot of pride in that.